Welcome, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Rodriguez, and today we are doing ELA lesson number 1. But before we get started, you'll need some learning materials. For reading, you will need a reading notebook or journal, an independent reading book, and a pencil. For writing, which we will talk about later, you will need a writing notebook or journal and a pencil. Are you ready to learn at home? I hope so. But first, let's make sure. Is your body still? Are your ears listening? Is your brain thinking? Are your eyes looking at the screen? And most importantly, make sure your computer is fully charged or plugged in. All right, but I think you're ready. Let's go. Today, we're talking about understanding the genre of nonfiction. Your objective is that I can identify some of the basic characteristics of nonfiction literature. Your language objective, I can discuss and read nonfiction texts. Let's learn more about this. What is a nonfiction genre? Nonfiction are real books that tell, inform, teach, and explain. They have informational, true facts. They can be read in any order. They teach readers. They have photographs. They have text features such as table of contents, photographs, headings, charts, diagrams, labels, captions, an index, and a glossary. Now, you won't find all of these features in every single book. Some books will just have a few features. Other books will have all of them. But you can find out for yourself. Let's look further. What is the difference between fiction and nonfiction? Well, looking at these two books, I can see that they're both about giraffes. The book on the left has a real photograph of a giraffe, and the book on the right seems like a drawn illustration. Well, that's one difference. The nonfiction books have real photographs, and fiction books have illustrations. Now, let's talk a little bit more about nonfiction. Again, they have real photographs, they tell information, and they have text features. The fiction books have, as we mentioned, illustrations. They tell a make-believe story, and they have characters, a setting, and a problem and solution. Let's learn some more. How do readers read a nonfiction text? Well, looking at the giraffe book here, I look at the cover or the title, and I think, what am I going to learn here? Well, since the title says giraffes, and there's a real photo of a giraffe, I think we're going to be learning about giraffes in that book. When I'm inside the book, I look at the pictures and the captions, and I think about what we can learn from that. If there's some charts, maps, or graphs, they will provide us with some more information. And I think about what information am I going to learn from that. When you read a heading or subheading, you also think about what that page is about. And you have to read each section carefully so that you can get the information it's trying to provide you. Now, characteristics in a nonfiction text. As we mentioned, table of contents, heading, subheadings, types of print such as bold, italic, or highlighted, glossary, index, photographs, captions, graphs, diagrams, or even a map. Why are there text features in a nonfiction book? They help you understand a nonfiction textbook better. Some give more detail to a photograph. Some just tell you what that specific page is about. Well, let's look into it. Let's explore this panda book. Now, looking at the cover, the title says pandas, and there's a real photograph of a panda. So I'm thinking we're going to be learning about pandas. Let's look at the next page. Ooh, a giant panda. And look, the heading says giant panda. Ooh, there's two white bolded words on here that also say giant panda. So I can assume that this page is about giant pandas. Let's take a look at the next page and see what we find. A bear cat. So there's a real photograph. There's a label, says giant panda. And there's another picture. Oh, it says black bear. And the caption says, pandas are about the same size as their black bear cousins, but their heads are larger and rounder. Interesting. Also, pandas cannot stand on their hind legs like other bears do. Wow, pretty cool. Pandas are great tree climbers. Here's another little fact bear word. Habitat, an animal's natural home. So habitat would be a word that you would probably find in a glossary as well. There's some labels here. So a diagram with a real photograph, and each label gives a description of a panda body part. Pandas are black and white. This may help hide panda babies from predators or enemies in the snowy and rocky forest. Their black eye spots may help them look fierce. Pandas have large teeth and strong jaw muscles that are perfect for crushing tough stalks of bamboo. Very interesting. Let's take a look at the next page. Bamboo breakfast. Pandas spend their day sleeping a little and eating a lot. Wow. Look at this real photograph, and it has a caption. Pandas have to eat 20 to 40 pounds of bamboo each day to stay alive. It takes 10 to 16 hours a day to find and eat all that bamboo. Wow. A day in the life. How adorable. 3 little pandas. Again, there's a bear word, communicate, to pass on information. Scent, a smell. Pandas use scent to communicate. If you notice, these not only are little captions, but it also provides an explanation of each word or a definition. So, for example, communicate, to pass on information. I bet you in the back of the book in the glossary, you'll find these very words. Baby steps. So I can assume that this page is talking about baby cubs, the panda cubs. And look, panda cubs are pink, hairless, and blind at birth. They spend the day squeaking, crying, and drinking their mother's milk. Very interesting. Again, here's a caption for the picture. Soon, black fur will grow around the cub's eyes and on its ears and legs. Here's another word, a bear word. Cub, a baby bear. Cubs stay with their mothers until they are about 2 or 3 years old. So there's 1, 2, 3 facts about the bear cubs or panda cubs. 1, in a few weeks, the mother can leave her cub to find bamboo. The baby cries less and is able to keep itself warm. When a cub is about 8 weeks old, it will finally open its eyes, but the cub still cannot walk until it is 3 months old. Wow, 3 months. When the cub is 6 months old, it can eat bamboo, climb trees, and walk around just like its mother. Amazing. And the red panda has fur and looks more like a raccoon than a bear. Wow. Take a look at its tail. Isn't it similar to a raccoon? But it's red. And it's a panda. Doesn't look like the other pandas. Very interesting. What do you think? Protecting pandas. Oh, look, a map of China. The Wulong Panda Reserve in China is just one way people are trying to help. The 150 pandas that live there cannot be harmed. That is so cool. Panda baby boom. Look at all these little baby cubs. In just 1 year, 16 cubs were born at the Wulong Panda Reserve. Wow. 16 cubs. Earthquake. In May 2008, a giant earthquake struck China. The center of the earthquake was right near the Wulong Reserve. The rocks the size of cars rained down from the steep mountains surrounding the pandas' home. Now workers need to find new land for the pandas that lost their homes. So sad, but very interesting. Did you know this? Panda amazing facts. So here you will find A ton of facts about pandas. For example, pandas will roll around and tumble to get somewhere faster. Very cool. Name that bear. Many bear names. All right, now that we've taken a look at this book and explored, and we found a number of text features, let's take a look at our next page. So let's think about what we just saw in that panda book, right? When I looked at the cover, I immediately thought, I think we're going to learn about pandas. So the first question, what do we think we will learn? Looking at the cover, we will learn about pandas. What do we learn from looking at the pictures and captions? When I was reading through the book or flipping through the book, I saw that there's details in the photographs that help me visualize what pandas are like. And the captions gave me details. So, for example, the photograph that had the labels and spoke about the panda bodies, how their eyes have black spots to help make them look fierce. And did I learn anything new? And what questions do I have? Yes. Okay. So I learned about red pandas. And my question is, are pandas in danger of being extinct? I wonder. All right. So now it's your turn. Choose a nonfiction book and answer the questions below. Tell me, what do you think you're going to learn? Look at the title, look at the front page, look at the cover, and what do you learn from looking at the pictures and the captions? What do you learn from looking at the charts, the maps, the graphs, if there are any? And did you learn anything new? What questions do you have? All right, boys and girls, pause the video here and write the answer to these questions in your notebook. And then take a break. Take a 15 to 20 minute break, a brain break. Take a walk, stretch, drink some water, grab a snack, but please take a break and pause the video and put a timer for 15 to 20 minutes. Come back to the video and press play so that we can move on to our writing lesson. Welcome for our writing lesson. And again, you need materials. Remember when in the beginning of the video, I mentioned you would need a writing journal or a notebook and a pencil. For writing, you always need an instrument, and a pencil is perfect because if you make a mistake, you can erase it. All right, let's move forward. Let's understand the process of writing. So pre-writing requires you to brainstorm key ideas to get started. Use graphic organizers to plan and organize. Then you move on to drafting and revising and editing and publishing. Today, we're doing pre-writing. Let's take a look at what that means. Understanding nonfiction writing. So your content objective is, I can identify how to write nonfiction piece and understand how writers brainstorm topics to write about. A language objective for today, I can generate a list of expert topics and begin to write long and hard. Let's take a look further. What is nonfiction writing? And what does it look like? So nonfiction writing is writing that deals with real people, places, and events. What does nonfiction writing look like? It can have table of contents, it can have labels, it can have close-ups, photographs or illustrations, fun facts, maps, and an index. And how do nonfiction writers generate topics to write about? Well, think of something that you're an expert at. Writers of informational texts choose topics they know a lot about or that they care about and could teach others. Actually, I think it's a combination of the three. So a topic that you care a lot about, you know a lot about, and that you're able to teach others. That's very important. So let's think about, what are you an expert at? Could it be a sport? Could it be something that you do on a regular day or every day? Is it something that you do maybe every once in a while? For example, camping. soccer, baseball, gardening, dinosaurs. Do you know a lot about dinosaurs? Well, start thinking about some topics, okay? Well, let's take a look further. Pre-writing. In pre-writing you brainstorm. So you think about what topics you're an expert at. Looking here, I'm an expert at a little bit of basketball. Cupcakes, definitely cupcakes. Making a bead bracelet, I can make one of those. Swimming, planting, dogs, I love dogs. But I'm going to choose from this list making cupcakes. I'm going to write long and hard. Let's take a look at my example. So my topic is making cupcakes. Making cupcakes is a fun and easy task. Have you ever tried? First, you need the following ingredients such as 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar. You will also need a bowl, a mixing spoon, cupcake pan, and liners. You add the dry ingredients into the bowl and then the wet. Mix slowly so you do not make a mess, but it's okay if you do. And when everything is mixed very well, you pour the batter halfway into each liner. Bake the cupcakes in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. Now, this was my topic, and I provided information about it, and I tried to teach you how to make cupcakes. I hope you can succeed. All right, boys and girls, now you're going to pause the video here and using your notebook, create a list of expert topics. Then select a topic and begin to write long and hard. Now remember, expert topics are those that you know a lot about, you care about, and you can teach to others. And also, building your stamina matters. So keep the pencil in your hand at all times, take a deep breath, and keep going. Keep thinking ahead to your next idea as you write. And imagine how great it will be once you are finished. Don't give up. All right, boys and girls, let's do it.